When my husband and I discovered a body buried in our backyard, we never imagined it would be our missing neighbor. Now, another neighbor knows we've uncovered the truth, and they'll stop at nothing to silence us. The day we found the box, it was supposed to be ordinary. Mark and I were digging in the backyard, setting up the garden we'd dreamed about since moving in. The house was perfect, spacious, secluded, surrounded by countryside. But when Mark's shovel struck something solid, that dream cracked a little. At first, we thought it was just an old tool or some junk. But when Mark unearthed a rusted metal box, curiosity took over. Inside was an old leather-bound diary, its pages stiff with age. I wasn't planning to read it right there, but something about it called to me. The entry started innocently enough, notes about the house, its creaking floors, and how beautiful the oak tree in the west garden looked at sunset. But as I flipped further, the tone changed. The writer described a visitor, someone who kept showing up, uninvited. At first, it was small requests, tools, food, odd jobs. But the entries grew darker. He's watching me again. I told him to leave, but he just laughed. Mark peered over my shoulder as I read the final entry aloud. I had no choice. It was him or me. I buried him in the west garden, near the old oak tree. Silence stretched between us. Mark glanced at the towering oak tree in the corner of the yard, its branches casting ominous shadows over the garden. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak and rustle outside sent my heart racing. When I finally looked out the window, nothing seemed out of place, but I couldn't shake the feeling we weren't alone. The next morning, Julie, our new neighbor, stopped by. She was friendly, almost overly so, and eager to chat. Over coffee, she mentioned something that chilled me. You know, the last owner disappeared, she said casually. Vanished into thin air. People think he ran off. But me? I think the truth is buried close by. Her words lingered. That night, Mark and I stood under the oak tree, shovels in hand. Neither of us wanted to dig, but neither of us could let it go. It didn't take long to hit something. The thud of metal against burlap made my stomach churn. Mark reached down, his hand shaking, and pulled up a bundle. When he unwrapped it, I gasped. Bones. Human bones. Before we could process it, the creak of the garden gate froze us in place. We turned to see Julie standing there, calm and unbothered. I was wondering when you'd find him, she said with a faint smile. Mark gripped the shovel tightly. What the hell are you talking about? Julie's smile didn't waver as she stepped closer, the moonlight glinting off something in her hand, a knife. You've been digging in the wrong place, she said softly. The oak tree loomed behind us as she took another step forward. Like and comment part 2 if you want to see the rest of the story.